Welcome to the weekly call where we show you guys exactly how to get into the real estate business. I got my friend on here, Nathan Valley, and we're going to be talking to you specifically, wholesalers. You that if you feel like you're struggling trying to sell your deals, this call is for you. Or if you just want to know the best ways to dispo and sell your deals in 2025, that's specifically what I want to be talking about today. So if you guys are interested in dispoing your deals quickly, that's what this call is about. What's up, Nate? How's it going?
Yo, what is going on? I'm doing great, brother. Guys, this topic is so important because I know a lot of people I chat with. I was literally earlier today, I was having a conversation with someone to where a lot of people think the problem is acquisitions. And there might be things that need to get fixed on acquisitions, but everyone thinks, oh man, it's just, I can't get the deals cheap enough. You know, how do I get it to a lower price, you know, with the seller? A lot of times it's your problem might not be that. The bigger problem might be you don't need to get it lower with the seller. You need to figure out how do you get your buyers to come up or even respond to the deals you do have. Because I promise you that there is a lot of room. There is a lot of money you're leaving on the table or a lot of deals that you're letting fall through or passing by because you don't have a good dispo process.
All right, Nate Valley. Love it. Thanks for giving that awesome insight. Guys, there's going to be 3 reasons to listen to us today. Nathan Valley did tell us a little bit about why he has that experience today. But number 1, you're going to learn the best dispo practices in 2025 coming. All right. I should have used a darker color, but whatever. I think you guys.
And guys, it is that the things that work today are not the same things that worked 5-10 years ago.
That's right. That's why you got to stay on top of your game. We're going to discover new AI tools. I'm going to tell you about AI tools that I've discovered not only through using Batch, but there's some new stuff coming. And if you guys are trying to fight AI, good luck. It's not going anywhere. Okay. Unless someone blows up the internet. And get actionable insights to sell faster. So guys, those are the 3 main reasons you should be listening to us today. Because if you want to sell your deals faster, I was just trying to dispo one of my deals. You need to listen because you could waste tons of time if you don't know the process and the best way to do it. So let's dive right into it, Nathan Valley. These are going to be the ways to dispo in 2025. Now, there's still the traditional ways to do it, okay? So we're going to be going over that. Man, I wish I would have wrote in thicker marker or thicker whatever. It doesn't matter. You guys can still see it. Ways to dispo in 2025. We're going to go over the traditional ways that still work, right? So we love BatchLeads. I love BatchLeads because you're able quickly to find out what real estate agents, what flips are happening right next to your flip. You can quickly just call the agent that has that deal and say, hey, I see you representing some flippers in the area. Do you have any more that would be interested in buying a flip in this area? Simple as that. That's a tried and true method. Agents are great ways to sell your deals, okay? I just called an agent in San Antonio. I had a deal. She had a listing right next to the property that I'm looking at. I called her. I have a call that I recorded the call so you guys can listen to it. She gave me the whole scoop. She was like, hey, I was like asking like what I could sell for if I flipped it, if I found a cash buyer. She just gave me everything I needed to know. Okay, so you can use BatchLeads, okay, to get agents' information. Also, you can skip trace for free now using my 7-day free trial link. Just DM me and I'll hook you up. But BatchLeads is a great way to do it, finding the agents on the MLS and talking to them. Top cash buyers. This is something that we love working with. It's a traditional way. Build relationships with your top cash buyers because if you're just blasting out your deals to a cash buyers list, you don't know who's opening it. You don't know if they're even buying anymore. Build relationships with your top cash buyers. That's the goal. That's the key to getting deals sold ASAP because a lot of deals that need to get done, it requires like a relationship. So we call these our A+ buyers. Nathan, do you have anything you want to say about just having those buyers in your pocket?
Yeah, guys, quality over quantity. It applies on acquisitions just like it does on the disposition side, right? Quality. Not all buyers are created equal, right? I remember when I did my 30-day challenge a while ago, there's some buyers I would chat with to where right off the bat, oh yeah, well, you know, anything that's a deal for me, I only buy it 60 cents on the dollar. And then I'm also conservative on this. And then I take an additional like X amount off the top. And in the first 2 minutes, I'm like, hey, hey man, I appreciate your time. Have a great rest of your day. Because that is not the buyer that I'm looking for, right? Guys, there are some buyers that will pay top dollar. There's some to where they want like every deal to be like a multi 6-figure home run deal for them. And the reality is that's where you are just not in the business of looking to work with those people. Right. And so again, you don't need 1 million cash buyers. You don't even need thousands. You just need typically 5 to 10 solid buyers, like really good quality buyers. And guys, you can absolutely crush it. I can't tell you how many times every deal that we do, there's almost a, like, I'm trying to think on the last few deals we did. I know that like two of our last deals, there was a $100,000. I think technically it was like 90 and change. So, don't quote me on it. But it was over $90,000 spread from the buyers on the low end to the person that bought the deal. I'm going to say that again. $90,000 difference. That is not just one, but on 2 deals that we had done recently. Right. And guys, we see this time and time again to where there is such a huge spread. Right. And again, it's not because the people at the top, offering the most amount of money don't know what they're doing. Guys, they were actually the most experienced buyers and they made out very well on the properties, on the deals that we did with them and what they paid for. Right. It's just, again, we're not looking for every buyer. We just want to find the best ones.
There you go. So you want to find work with top buyers and the right buyers, right? So the next one, we have buyers list. We've kind of hit on the buyers list. You can get a buyers list from Batch. You can get it from buying it from other people. Now, buyers lists are okay, but if you're just going to rely on a buyers list to blast out your deals and wait for people to come in and send you their offers, I am more of an aggressive type. I'm more of like the proactive type. I don't like to just sit and wait. Okay, so buyers lists are cool. It should be a part of your process, right? Like if you're trying to move a lot of deals, but not the only thing. Okay, so on top of having top cast buyers, building a buyers list, and proactively going after agents with batch leads, traditionally, like Facebook is a great tool that I still use because people are proactively looking at deals. So instead of having a buyers list where you're not sure when the last person bought a deal is, you can go to Facebook and you can say, okay, these are people are commenting. You don't really necessarily know if it's like legit or not. That's why you got to vet them, right? You don't know if it's a wholesaler, but again, who cares if it's a wholesaler? If they're good, they can bring you a buyer. I work with wholesalers all the time. So Facebook. Okay. So those are the traditional ways of dispoing your properties. I would say that are my favorites at the moment. Okay. And that's just, we haven't gotten into online platforms. So there's still some other ones that we're going to get into, Nate, but do you have anything that you want to say, Nate, before we move on to the online platforms on ways to dispo?
Guys, one of the things, Nate, if someone were to ask me, hey, what's different in 2025, compared to back in 2020 or earlier, guys, the difference, one huge difference is getting these big email lists and just selling deals through emails. It does not cut it, right? It does not work like it used to. In today's day and age, for us, we talk on the phone to every single buyer. We will not work with a buyer unless they get on the phone with it. I don't care what price you say. And the reason why is because we have no idea if you're real. And guys, again, today in 2025, there is way more people learning about wholesaling, looking to get into wholesaling and all of that stuff compared to what there was years ago. And guys, there's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't mean it's harder or that there's less opportunity. Not at all. I think there's more opportunity than what there was a couple of years ago. It's just you got to adapt and change with the times. And one of those things being in the Facebook groups and online, again, there's nothing wrong. I don't mind working with a wholesaler. Same thing as what Payne said. But I do have an issue if you are a wholesaler and you are pretending to be a cash buyer, right? And you're trying to tell me that you are the buyer and you can do this and you can do that, and you're just trying to tie up my deal, or you're trying to blast it out without my permission, right? And so that's why, guys, again, and especially through online methods, again, like Facebook and whatnot, you're going to get a lot of that. All right. Again, guys, if that's a strategy you do, please just make sure, just let the person know that you're a wholesaler, right? Like nobody really cares. The other thing though is talk to the person on the phone. right? Ask questions, because you're typically going to be able to pull out, hey, is this person legit, or are they just kind of posing to be a buyer? Again, earlier today, I just had a conversation with a person to where it was a wholesaler that they had a conversation with, and they thought it was the buyer, and the wholesaler ended up going behind their back and just, trying to steal and lock up went behind their back to contact the person, and then also to lock up the contract. Right. And so it's again, getting on the phone, vet people, right? Huge. And email,
Right.
not a fan of it. Because the thing, guys, especially in today's day and age, like with the buyers, if you talk to buyers, they'll even tell you, they'll see the same deal 3 or 4 different times from 3 or 4 different people at 3 or 4 different prices. They don't know who's who, and what they say. When they see that, they're like, I'm just not even going to waste my time.
Yeah, because they
right?
don't.
And
They don't
that's
know
what
who.
happens so
If it makes
often.
sense.
And it's just all the confusion and the email. They're like, I don't even know what company this is, and I get a million emails into my inbox. I don't even know who they're from. Yeah, I not the big fan on email. Again, guys, the kind of mass blast of sending out deals through email and stuff does not work like it used to. Get on the phone, do the unscalable thing, and I promise you'll be so much more effective. You'll have better conversations, and you'll get to find out what are they really willing to pay.
Right, because it does change, and we've seen that many times where they'll just give you a crazy number that's low just because they're like, whatever, I'm going to get rid of this guy. But if you stay on them, they're willing to pay more. And just to go off of what Nathan was saying, I actually have a conversation here that I had earlier with someone that had a wholesale deal in Utah that I was interested in. So I just texted him like Nate's saying, and you just tell them what you're doing. Hey, I have some buyers that might be interested. Do you mind if I run it by them? Oh, yeah. This is what the guy said. Yeah, sure. Go ahead and run it by your people. And then I was asking questions like, okay, how much wiggle room is there? Blah, 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 blah. We don't have to get all into it because that's just a different strategy for another time. But if you can get good at dispoing your own deals, you can dispo other people's deals that aren't that maybe they're not that good at it, or maybe they're doing nationwide wholesaling and they're just relying on that email blast, right? Or that online platform to do the work from, and they don't have the relationships, the VIP buyers. They're not willing to call the agents. That's how you can get a leg up on the competition in dispo and at all times. If you're willing to do the work, you can beat out a lot of the competition. What up,
And
Nick? You got something else to
and
say?
one other thing. This is probably the most important thing you guys could get out of this whole video. And there's still a lot more important stuff. So listen up. The most important thing that you need in your dispo process, aside from working and finding the best buyers, just like on the front end with acquisitions, when we find deals, right? When we're talking to sellers, when we're talking to agents or whoever, right? We have a sales process. Same thing on the disposition side. When you are selling deals, it's not, oh, let me just put it together on an email and send it. No, you need to have a sales process that you that you walk buyers through. Because even though you might think, yeah, but Nate, sellers, buyers, like they're completely different. Guys, it is all human psychology. And guys, fix and flippers, cash buyers, it's a different game. Wholesalers, our expertise is sales and marketing. That's what we do. That is what we are experts at. In cash buyers, fix and flippers, that's construction, project management. It's a totally different game. So when they step into our world, guys, it's very similar to when we talk to a seller, right? When we talk to a seller, right? We talk to the seller in the first 5 minutes. Hey, Mr. Seller, if you were to sell the property, what kind of price do you think you'd want to sell it for? I want $1 million. Okay, got it. Tell me a little bit more about the house, right? And then we talk, we build rapport. They get to know, like, and trust us, right? And then we come back to price, and then we find out, oh, okay. Originally, I know you said you wanted this number, but it sounds like you're actually willing to accept the number down here, right? Price changes drastically. Same thing with buyers, because what happens? Buyers, they are not experts. Most of them are not, like, that is not their expertise, right? It's the construction, it's the project management, it's the rehab side. So when it comes to the negotiating, a lot of them, all they know is like old school yard sale tactics, right? And you let me know if I'm wrong, right? Let me know if this hasn't happened to you, right? You talk to a buyer and what do? They come, right? They kick the tires and they go, there's some chip paint there. That's going to cost me 50 grand, right? And then they give you a really low ball offer. That's all they know how to do, right? And same thing with the seller. That's not even their real number, right? We haven't taken them through a sales process. That's just their low ball offer. Same thing when we talk to the seller. That's just their like, let me just throw out a really high number, right? Same thing with buyer. You need to have a sales process, because just like with sellers, when we bring them through a sales process, the number changes drastically. Same thing with buyers, guys. The number changes. I mean, every single deal we do today, the buyer ends up paying $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 more from what they said, originally their top dollar price was. And guys, usually like it's already a deal at that point. So this is just extra gravy on top. And I can't and that's not even including, well, what about when it's not at a deal yet? You know how many deals people are like, oh man, I'm too far off in price. And it's like, oh my goodness. Now, if you just had a sales process to bring your Dispo guys through, there are so many deals that you have, I promise, that you're passing up on because you're not finding out, hey, what's the actual price my buyers are willing to pay?
Right. Very passionate about this, but we've done deals where we've made bigger spreads, a lot of bigger spreads, because we're willing to have those conversations. If you just take some guy giving an offer as like that's the gospel, or that's like the final like word said, good, you're losing a lot of money on the table, leaving a lot of money on the table. Nate, you crushed that one. Are you done, or you want to keep going?
Oh, bro, I can always keep going.
All right,
I'll tell you what. So one last quick thing, right? Because you might be like, Nate, that sounds really cool. What on earth does that sales process even look like? We're not going to be here all day, but how
do it in less than 20 seconds.
Less than 20 seconds, guys. You're going to say to this to the buyer, right? So, if you've got a deal, right, and let's say you want to push it out to your buyers, you're like, if my buyers bought this at 500,000, that'd be amazing, right? And so, but you have no clue. Hey, Mr. Buyer, I've got this deal around the corner from, whatever, from how I found you. I'm still negotiating with the seller, right? We're still kind of going back and forth with them. Right now, I know they'd be willing to sell it for 500,000. I know if we're able to make that work, we can get the deal done today. I'm still going back and forth with them a little bit on things though. I might be able to get a little bit cheaper, right? And the buyer goes, oh my gosh, 500, that's not even close to a deal. There's a vacant lot that sold right around the corner for $10,000, and you're like, I know. I mean, it is a 5-bedroom, 3,000 square foot house, Mr. Buyer. They're like, yeah, but blah 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 blah. And you're like, hey, got it, totally understand. Like I said, hey, we're still going back and forth with the seller. Let me ask you, what price would you need to be at in order for it to make sense for you? Right? We asked 500,000. I don't even know if I could pay 300. Got it. Totally understand. What is some feedback that you can give me that I can use to help get it down to that price for you? Right? What's some specific feedback you can give me that I can use as ammo to bring back to the seller to help get it down to your price? Right now, he's going to tell me exactly what I need to know. Because if you're like me, guys, man, I don't know nothing about construction. I don't want to know. Right?
A lot of times you don't know a lot about the area either. A lot of times you don't really understand the market.
And this is how you learn a lot, guys, really fast. So one, there's going to be some stuff to educate you on, but two, you're going to figure out if they're pulling your chain, right? But then from there, I say, okay, got it. And then I'm going to go back to the seller. Hey, Mr. Buyer, still going back and forth with the seller. I know you said you wanted to be a lot closer to 300. I think you're going to be pretty excited. It's still a big if. I'm still going back and forth. I might be able to get them as low as 450. If I'm able to get them to say yes to that, is that something that you think you could do? Well, I could maybe, 375 is the most I could. Right. And it's like right off the bat, whoa, massive jump from what we were originally at, right? And now we're getting, and guys, like that's just the start.
They
right? So I'm
lowballed
gonna
you
leave
like
it there.
Yeah,
I know I went
they
over 20
lowballed
seconds,
you.
but
You did go over 20 seconds. But anyway, cash buyers do lowball us as well. They do. Okay.
100%.
So if you're just going to take their lowball offer and think that's it, you're leaving a lot of money on the table. Anyway, let's continue, Nate. Thanks for that 20-second breakdown, brother. So what's the next thing that you can do? What's the next way? We went over the traditional routes that I enjoy. We have online platforms. Okay, what are the online platforms that a lot of wholesalers, a lot of people are using these days? MLS. Okay, if you guys aren't using the MLS to wholesale or do novations or get your deals to find cash buyers, you need to start. Okay, I just got off an email chain with brokerlist.com. That's how we list a lot of our stuff ourselves on the MLS as wholesalers. And the guy sent me an attorney in fact. He says, hey, this is the paperwork you need to have your seller sign so you can list all properties on the MLS legally. Okay. It's pretty much going all throughout, like all the MLSs throughout the United States. Like if you have your seller sign this, you can sign the documents for them. Attorney, in fact, if you guys don't have one, DM me. I'll send you the one that he sent me. Okay. Because using their platform, if you have that sign, they're cool with it. Okay. So MLS, how do you make money off of the MLS when you dispo deals? It's it's the best cash buyers list. It's the best buyers list, period. Okay. You put your deal on the MLS. You can say, hey, looking for cash buyers. You get cash buyers. You assign it to them. You don't need a novation. You don't need anything like that. It's just a traditional assignment agreement. If you want a novation, if you want to sell your property to someone that's traditional financing, you have to go through like a different route. Okay. Then you would have to sell it to someone that has financing. I'm not going to get into all that, but that's why you use the MLS. Okay. Zillow. Do people use Zillow? I never really got into it. The market that I was in wasn't very heavy on Zillow, Facebook, Craigslist, Marketplace. They weren't really into that. But that's something you could do. But one thing that's been getting hit really heavy, guys, like over the last 2 years I've been seeing is these new marketplaces are coming out. You've heard of Investor Lift. I even have my own marketplace through like a partnership with the company. Okay. So I can list deals on these marketplaces and investors will come. But if that's all you're doing, that's not what you should do. You should be proactive about getting deals. Like I showed you with the traditional route of BatchLeads, calling agents, calling cash buyers, Facebook. But marketplaces are decent. But again, you don't just rely on that, okay? Because you don't know how often these real estate investors are checking, the flippers are checking the marketplace. You don't want to be basically at their mercy if that one guy who's willing to pay $100,000 more than everybody else just didn't check his computer for those 5 days that you had the deal. That's the problem with what we do a lot. Is like we just think no one's interested when you're trying to dispo for 3 days, right? Or you have a 5-day window. The guy that's probably going to be able to pay that much. Potentially the guy who can pay more than everybody else is on a jet ski in Cabo, right? Like he's just having a good time. So you got to think of it like that, everybody. By the way, I'm going to pause real quick. Give us a little like or subscribe if you're watching this live. If you like this hard, it really helps the algorithm get this for more people. That is the real enemy out there in the world today. It's the algorithm not letting us get our information out there because I don't know. Like they might be shadow banning me because I'll make a post and it'll get 1 view. Maybe I'm not that cool, but give us a like or subscribe, comment, and just get some action on this live because it helps us out. Nate, do you have anything you want to say when it comes to online platforms to dispo deals?
Yeah. Another important piece with the dispo, right? So we talked about the sale process, but also, you'd mentioned, hey, like just posting something once or just reaching out to somebody one time isn't enough. Guys,
never again. You can never do that.
Stop looking at sellers and buyers as like two totally different, like they're both human beings. Just like sellers, we got to follow up with them 4, 5, 6+ times. Same thing with, I've got a deal right now to where it took me for 4 days. I had to blow up this buyer's phone to get back on the phone with him. Right. And then I've been in touch with him for like 2 weeks. Right. But I had to blow up his phone for 4 days because again, sales process, right? Initially, he just kind of gave a lowball offer, but then the sales process brought him up about $30K in the price he was at. Right. And now the thing is, we're probably going to be doing the deal with this guy. So we're kind of like right down to the wire. But again, buyers are just like sellers. It doesn't necessarily mean they're not interested in the deal. Guys, people are busy. Most people are not built like us. They are not built like wholesalers. They are not trained like wholesalers. Guys, we are savages when it comes to follow-up. That is one of the most valuable things you learn with wholesaling. And you apply it to so many things, not just acquisitions and finding sellers. Use it with buyers. Use it with, I don't know, got like a doctor's appointment, whatever.
Dude, if I had the follow game I have now when I was dating girls in college, it would have been amazing. I would have said, hey, you didn't respond to my text when I asked you on a date yesterday. I'm just following up. I'm just checking in to see if you're still not interested.
So guys, you gotta do with that. Do that with buyers. Again, same thing with sellers. Don't be worried about following up too much, right? I promise you, you're not following up too much. Get on the phone with them and get some real numbers from them as far as, hey, what are you actually willing to pay? You know, what's a real price from you?
You're dropping some gold nuggets here, man. When it comes to follow-up, I think we could just do a whole episode about follow-up alone, about like, stop feeling like you're bothering people. Oh, because you know how many times I got to follow up with my friends that I have a relationship with and I'm cool with? Like, they'll text them, they won't respond. I'm not butthurt about it. I'm not.
Is that going back to that? Hey, you still not interested in hanging out, friends?
Hey, man, you haven't heard. I haven't heard back from you. Are you still wanting to hang out? Right? Like, no. So that's the thing,
are we
guys.
Still friends?
Are we still? Do you still like me, dude? So the thing is, people are busy. People have kids. People have dogs. People have life. This is all we're thinking about. They are not thinking about this, and that's the thing with pre-foreclosure and a lot of these lists. They're going through some life stuff. And if you guys think that maybe they don't respond to you, that they don't want to talk to you, don't like you, nah, they got some heavy stuff going on. Your job is to follow up until they basically threaten your life. Okay. I'm just kidding about the threaten your life, but your goal is to follow up until the house is sold. All right. So what is the new opportunity now?
I want to hit on that real quick before we go into new opportunity. And again, guys, like, don't feel guilty. Right? With sellers or with buyers, you are providing value, right? That seller is in a tough situation. They need your help. That buyer is, bro, I've got an opportunity for you to make money, right? Like, yeah, guys, if you've got a big opportunity for me to make money, you're more than welcome. Oh man, I got to be careful because people are going to start blowing up my phone, right? But you're more than welcome to reach out. At least until I say, hey, I'm not interested, or whatever the case may be. Then it's like, cool. All right, move on to the next. Right. But again, guys, don't stop worrying about follow-up. I think my man froze. All right, he's frozen. We're going solo, guys. So new opportunity. We got AI. We'll see if he comes back in. So I actually have no clue what was written at the bottom arrow, but not sure where he was going with the AI. I really like the old school stuff, guys. Seriously, getting, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but getting on the phone, right? Getting on the phone, having a sales process, right? And then the follow-up. The follow-up is so huge. And again, it's not just going to be getting them on the phone that first time, right? We're going solo, guys. It's not just getting them on the phone that first time, but it's also, it's getting them back on the line, right? Because you might have that initial conversation and they might, yeah, I'll get back to you. Or they give you that initial kind of low ball offer. And guys, again, the follow-up is everything. So many deals fall through. So many people lose out on money because they're not taking the follow-up game with buyers as serious as they do with sellers. Huge misconception. Same thing with the sales process. Your sales process with the buyers, you need to be taking just as seriously as your sales process on the acquisition side. All right, guys, all the work that goes into finding a deal, it is not easy to find a deal, right? So once you have it, well, we want to make sure that we are 100% going to make money, but not just make money. We want to make as much as we possibly can. We want to make sure we are not leaving money on the table.
Nathan Valley. Sorry, man. That's the problems. That's the problems of living in the country of Canada. Not only the country of Canada, but in the country side where there's bad internet. Sorry about that,
Dude,
brother.
it's good, man. You were gone. I was like, oh, perfect. I just get to run wild with the mic. Man, everybody knows I love to talk. All right, let's chat about what's this new AI opportunity.
I get to run wild without being brought back. All right, love it. Okay, so everybody, the new AI opportunity. What is it, guys? Step back. Let me tell you the truth. If you think AI is going anywhere, it's not going anywhere. Okay, it's here to stay, and it's taken a lot of the repetitious actions that a lot of people do in the beginning of answering like the nuanced questions of like how many beds are in the property, how many of the baths. Like people are training bots, not only bots to do text, but they're training bots to do voice. Okay, so basically, what I've seen with AI is they're saying, hey bot, this is how many beds and baths this property has, this is the condition of the property. Like any question that a buyer would ask, it's basically programming and saying, if someone asks this, respond with this. So
Mr. Buyer, price is 300,000. Take it or leave it.
I don't know if you've talked to these machines, like these AI stuff. It's sounds legit, dude. I feel bad for everybody in the Philippines because it's about to take them all out with the AI voice. If you're in a call center, you're in trouble. Okay. So guys, that's what I'm seeing so far with AI is they're training AIs to answer the questions that a lot of the buyers have. Now, could it get better? Potentially. Is it going to reach out to buyers and say, hey, are you interested in still buying? And then it has that conversation that adds people. Yeah. But like I'm not too concerned about this because what actually gets deals done is trust. You cannot trust the bot. Okay. We've all seen AI. We've all seen what is it? I Am Legend. We've seen all the movies where robots get crazy. I think I Am Legend has crazy robots. No, that's zombies. What's the one where the iRobot? We've all seen iRobot, AI, the movie with the kid. Look, can't trust them, but you can use them. So where do we come into place? We will use AI. A lot of people are going to start using AI to kind of filter through the tire kickers, and then it's going to filter the people that are really interested to talk to the guys that know what they're doing. Nathan, me, you guys that are out there. So what are the new opportunities for Dispo? It's just going to going to filter people more. That's what it's going to be able to do at the moment. That's what I've been seeing. Now, I'm not an expert in the AI Dispo department, but I am diving in. So if you guys want to learn more about the AI and what's going on, I'm the go-to guy because I'm diving in even deeper this year in 2025 to know how we can leverage technology and AI to help us in the real estate business. So those are the opportunities that I'm seeing with AI. And guys, this was as usual, we got a lot to say. So those are the ways to Dispo in 2025. So basically, if you guys found this information interesting, we run a free training in our Facebook group, our private free Facebook group, Painless Flipping, Wholesaling Real Estate Simplified. We have a free training tomorrow. We're doing a training where I'm going to be giving away my daily routine. One of the hardest things wholesalers have a hard time with is knowing what actions to take every day. So I am sharing you my exact routine, my planner that I use to gauge what I do. If you're interested, join the free Facebook group. We're going to be having the training tomorrow. Or if you aren't a member of the Facebook group, you don't want to search it for some reason, just comment wherever you're watching this. Just comment, I'm in, and I'll make sure you get that link for tomorrow's training. But this is basically what we wanted to talk to you guys today about is going and doing Dispo in 2025, making sure you're active. I will say this one last thing before I go. Hard work will win, okay? I was working hard today. I work hard every day, but today specifically, I called a bunch of agents. I talked to an agent that had a property. Like you can learn a lot by just working, okay? Like all these strategies, all these techniques, everybody wants to know the silver bullet, like the freaking, just show me the best process. And I've learned it's about intent. Like, why are you doing this? And taking action, massive or perfect action. Because you're going to beat a lot of the people that maybe they're talented because their process is legit, but you're just going to do deals if you just put in the work. So that's what I got to say. And I appreciate you guys watching this. Nathan Valley, do you have anything else you want to say?
I had a soccer coach back in the day that, and I love this saying. He used to always say, work rate beats talent every day of the week. And don't get me wrong, talent's important. It does go a long ways, but if you're talented and lazy, it's like, man, good luck. that's capped. Whereas, you know, the hard work, again, guys, you know, also this is from Alex Hormozy, and I absolutely love it. He talks a lot about, guys, the hard work, it works harder on you than you do on it. It's kind of like when you work out at the gym. Yeah, you might work out really hard at the gym for an hour, but your body's burning calories from that workout the entire rest of the day. Same thing with stuff like this. You might work really hard for, you know, a number of hours, making calls, talking to sellers, talking to buyers, whatever the case may be. I promise you, you are getting far more back from that and developing your skills and everything else than, you know, the work putting into it. So, that's encouraging. Hope you guys got something useful out of today.
Hold on.
Definitely, there should be a link down below. Join, guys, the free Facebook group. The training's in there. It is just in that Facebook group. They're pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie. And then we even give you there's a free course with everything that you need to do deals. And yeah, the course is legit. So yeah, join the free Facebook group. Check it out. We'll see you guys there.
Yeah. And hey, I just want to elaborate on what you said because it makes me think of something interesting. So when you said hard work and talent, it's the same thing with high IQ. Like a lot of people are born with a high IQ or they're very intelligent just without having to work that hard. But that because you have a high IQ or very intelligent doesn't mean you're going to be more successful than the guy who has a low IQ that just puts in the work, right? There's a lot of people that have high IQs, very intelligent, but they're lazy because like, oh, I'm so smart, so I'm just going to chill and veg. And a lot of people actually are not that successful a lot of the time when they have high IQ because they rely on that, right? So anyways, I kind of see it the same thing, right? A lot of people probably leave it up to talent, leave it up to intelligent, like high IQs, when guys like me and you, Nate, we got to work hard, you know?
Oh yeah, we got to work real hard.
We got to work real hard.
We got
that talent and low IQ, you know? All right, guys. Well, appreciate you. Again, Nate said it good. We dived in deep. Appreciate you being on here, and we will see you guys on the free training. Like I said, comment, I'm in. If you're wherever you're watching this, we'll make sure you get that link, or just join the free Facebook group, and we'll see you on the training tomorrow. Later,
guys.